Hey, good morning, and how are you guys doing today? I hope amazing. I hope you're doing big things. So we're back. We're going to be writing on our sci-fi. Um, of course, we're finishing out the world building. Super excited about how well this is going so far. Today's only going to be a 1 hour day. Of course, Friday we'll be back for 2 hours. I believe we'll be starting the outline itself of our book. Um, I like that idea. So I'm going to go over what we've got done, kind of review. Got my little red book, which is my notebook, um, where I'm, jotting down stuff. I know kind of a few ideas of where things are going to go direction wise based off of what we have in the book. I'm not going to go over that until we actually put it down on digital paper right in front of you. So what we're going to be doing is going to be a dark sci-fi fantasy. Of course, the resources I'm using, and I recommend to any of you if you are going to write a book, if you're just into literature, the theories behind literature, concepts and stuff like that, would be Tell Foundry. That's awesome resource, and Quinn's Ideas. Really great introspective ideas and conversations about literature and different media in general. The book, we're going for about 12 to 16 chapters. I'm not really hard on that yet. I mean, like, that's a loose thing. Hey, Electric Dust, I hope you're also having a great morning. We're not trying to make this very expensive. I've already created my Nook account, so when we are done, we'll load it. It's going to be $1.99. That's actually pretty cheap, is what I'd consider it. I'm not actually sure how that works yet. I haven't published a book on the Nook, so, I could be incorrect on that. So, the large basic story arc, and I mean, this is just the basic idea, is something bad happened. Now, we already know what that something bad is. Um, so we can actually put out something bad happened and we can actually write what happened, right? So we've got a large scale intergalactic war. And that might be the wrong terminology because I'm not sure if it's still intergalactic if you have multiple galaxies involved in a war. Um, but who knows? Okay, so we've got a large scale intergalactic war with a lot of death, destruction, and the use of magic. This, we'll come on that. Okay, so this is going to bring about the arrival. Hey, good morning, Zuck. Good morning, Avalonus. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. This brought. Ooh, I like. See, Google spell check stuff is literally doing such a great job. And we know that our horrors are galactic interdimensional or interdimensional horrors. Oh, I did mean interdimensional horrors. Okay, probably don't need that capitalized, right? I think that's good. Yeah. So that's our story arc at this point. Mankind, for the most part, retreats into safety, returns out into the open, dark forest, which is space and the unknown, right? Space in reality is a post-apocalyptic caused by a massive war in the emerging. So see, we have that. So we know that it's post-apocalyptic. We know that we're having magic, cybernetics, and psionics in it, including genetic modifications, right? Elements of Native American and Romanian folklore. Honestly, I'm not really sure if we're just keeping it that. I was actually, listened to this guy's special, and he was going on pre-Indo-European type cosmology. I know that that might be boring for some people. I thought it was fascinating. There's a lot of attributes from that and stuff like that. And so let's just put aspects. I think it's called Indo-Euro. Yeah. So the factions that we've got are the Confederation of Human Worlds. At the start, they held 6 systems, right? So, of course, we're talking about solar systems in the galaxy, 3 large corporations. I'm going to let you know I had already decided that one of the large corporations fell. Okay. So we're going to give this one corporation one of and I honestly I don't have a name for it. So let's just go like this. So we know it's one of them. And so let's just go placeholder. Boom. And we'll make up a name for this corporation, you guys. I got to make sure that we're having sound because I don't trust my mic to not turn off. It makes a sound, but if I don't have sound coming in on my earphones for some reason after so long, it decides that I'm not doing anything even though I'm talking. I don't know why. Corporations which had a massive, which had, let's say, we don't even have to call them massive because we all know a Dyson sphere is a massive structure, right? Of course, I'm spelling Dyson sphere incorrectly. I don't use Dyson sphere a lot. We're going to go up here. Oh, it's Y. Dyson sphere. Yeah, okay. That's why. Okay. I see where I messed up, guys. Spell check. They should have been able to know what's up here. Uh, we'll separate it. I think it should be one word, but whatever. That's just me. Oh, that's where I'm wrong. The sphere part. Boom. I know it's 5 a.m. 5:08 a.m. guys. So my stuff is together ish, but at 5 a.m. Um. Okay. Okay. So we're the cosmic horse breached all of them over time. We're also going to say that many of these are going to be lost during the war, right? Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back before that. One corporation which had numerous space stations and 2 Dyson spheres. Okay, dun, dun, dun. We'll go. The rest of which Okay, so many of these are going to be lost in the Great War. We'll hopefully come up with a. This is going to be corporation. That's a good choice. Okay, so placeholder corporation 1. Let's go like this so we know. That'll make it easier to spot, right? We're going to name the Viking people something. Of course, it's not just going to be space Viking people. Um, honestly, don't know what to call them. So we'll say placeholder name. I am going to come up with a better name for the Space Viking faction, obviously. Let's get our other corpse in here, right? And let's do this. I think you guys see where this is going. We're going to make more than one book on this. I am going to at least write one live. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, by the way. And we'll have to come up with what was going on with placeholder corp 2, placeholder corp 3. And did any of them survive, right? Obviously, one's going to survive. I like the idea of one surviving. Um, Two of them are likely to survive, to be honest, guys. I'm just going to be legit with you on that. So let's look at this because I'm going to have to swing back at these right now. I haven't actually thought of what's going on. I know kind of what's going on because we've got, let's say, number 3, right? Because we know at one point, or I know at least, that there's going to be a chapter in which we go to a large scale space prison like Hulk. I don't know if you guys know about prison hulks. Prison hulks, like at one point in European civilization, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So a prison hulk ship where they were used basically for convicts, right? Because you didn't want to have the bad guys in your society at that one point and stuff like that. These are one of the worst places you could be sent to be doing your time, right? Because you're literally just put on a prison ship that has no real destination. It's just going to set somewhere. Um, but it's a cheaper alternative to building prisons on land. It doesn't use any of your stuff. And it basically takes all your bad guys and it sends them away, in which, then their family and nobody's trying to help them break out in most cases. I think you guys can see how prison hulks overall became a theme. I mean, like, my understanding is I don't think we have them today in our society in any capacity, but you wouldn't want to be on one, right? So we're going to be using prison hulks. That's going to be interesting because we're going to go to one of them during one of the adventures. So let's give it the placeholder corporation through 3. Okay, and it's going to own. Yeah. Oh, they already fixed it for us. 17 systems. Okay, corporate prisons, including some. Oh, let's just say including. Okay, and these are going to use advanced cryo. Okay, so these guys are, of course, not the nicest one, right? A large number. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so Placeholder Corporation 3 is a large scale mining industrial corporation that held 7 systems at the start of the Great War. Had a large number of corporate prisons, including maximum security uh, prison hulks, which I think we all know what that is now, right? Hey, good morning, Vital Duck. I hope you're also having an epic day. Um, which used advanced cryo storage of prisoners where they lived out their life lived out a life of hardship in a virtual world created as punishment for their crimes. So obviously, we're going to have them. Mostly, they fell during the destruction of everything in a virtual corporations. Boom, boom. Lost most of its. Oh, aftermath. I don't know why I was separating that there. Okay, so all of these guys' planets got took. They lost most of their stuff. Let's even say that they lost some of their minor stuff during the Great War. So the corporation lost most of its assets in the aftermath. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go remaining here, right? Okay, so we're destroying a lot of its space stations during the war. And that's going to be it. That's boom, boom. Hey, Iverson, how you doing today? I hope you're having a great one. So we're flying through this. Look at this, guys. We're going to have all of our world building done probably pretty fast. But yeah, we've got a lot of placeholder stuff here. But in all honesty, I've got a pretty good idea on where we're going with stuff. This first book, I haven't decided exactly everything yet. You know what I'm saying? I do know that our adventure will take us to one of these space hulks to retrieve an individual at one point, right? Um, this corporation is a military technologies and artificial intelligence corporation. Boom. So we all know that, obviously. I'm misspelling some stuff today. Corpa instead of corpa. Whatever. I'm going to drink more coffee. Okay, so let's look over what we've done. They're still going to be around. Obviously, they had 7 systems. Placeholder 1, we'll give it some systems actually. And we'll name it something better than the Great War. Like literally while we're writing, I'm gonna have to come up what the Great War was called. Um, because I have no idea yet. Like a lot of this is I should have put placeholder war, but I didn't want placeholder to be the dominant thing that we're writing in everything. So let's look over what we've got right now. 3 large multi-planet space corporations controlled 17 systems before the war. Placeholder Corporation 1, which had numerous space stations and 2 Dyson spheres, lost most of its assets in the Great War. The rest of which, over time, were all breached by the cosmic horrors. Um, Obviously, they had. I don't know how that made sense. 3 systems under their control before the Great War started. Placeholder 2, we're going to give 7 systems to. So they retained 5 systems is what we're going with. So we're going to have a reason why, right? Because they used military technologies, but it's not because they shot it out with the space wars or something. Um, let's. Do we want to go with? I mean, like, because it's kind of tropish, no matter what. Either they did 2 different things. Let's go with. Mm, Trying to think of how we do this that's logical, right? At the same time. So we're hiding from dimensional stuff, right? And so I'm not sure if we want to say that they put their system in a dimensional pocket, a dimensional rift. I mean, I'm not sure how we're trying to. Okay, and it's going to tell me technologies. Oh, say they used technology to hide away many of their planets and space stations using everything from dimensional shifting technology to advanced shielding that hid them from detection. Right? We're okay with that. So this is likely where our guy's going to come from, just to be honest. I did think about we go with the space faction of Vikings, but in all honesty, I think that later on I want to do a different book that's from the space Viking perspective, more or less. And we all know that they survive by surviving with rune magic and just trying to survive flying around space, raiding places and things like that. So they are going to be traditional raider like Vikings. We're not going to mess around. They controlled 7 systems. I'm going to say that they lost most of their stuff, right? Oh, and we have Faction X. These guys are jerkheads that were controlled by the. So we've got our 3 corporations. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Like it. Got to make sure we got everything. Faction X. We're not 2 yet. Though. Okay. So massive raiding fleets is what they're going to survive in. Boom. Boom. Let's just drop that down 1 line. We all know that the Space Vikings is a single group. Space Faction X. I'm going to underline this so we don't accidentally get confused. Boom, boom. We're going to come up with a cool name for our Space Vikings, you guys. I just, I don't have one yet. Just, okay. Scavenging. They're scavengers, raiders. So obviously we have a whole everything's destroyed type situation going on. I'm going to make sure that I'm still talking. Yep, that's always a good sign. Boom, boom. I'm going to underline this placeholder name, Viking Faction. We're going to eventually have a cool name for our Viking Faction. Placeholder Corporation. Boom. Got a name for that eventually. I'm going to come up with names, guys. One day we'll just focus on that. It's going to likely be while we're writing like the stuff because honestly, we're going straight into writing by Friday, at least outline wise. So let's look at this. Boom, boom. Confederate humans. Confederation of Human Worlds. These are the Confederates, right? Did I just hand out the right amount of worlds? Okay, yeah, the Confederates own their own stuff. Ooh, do we want our character to be a Confederate? I mean, not like the Confederates in the Civil War, guys. Like a different type of Confederate, obviously, right? So let's think about how we're doing this. Do we feel that the Confederates survived well? Confederate of Human Worlds. This is just a confederation of human worlds separately governed that work together. Okay. Hey, chill vibes. I hope you're also having a great day. I'm doing awesome, you guys. I've got coffee going into me. Obviously, worlds. Good looking out, Google. Probably heard me say that, you guys. You know that, right? I don't know if that's true, but don't want to be accusing Google of something. Maybe Google's still around. I'm just joking. We're not going to have Google's being around because then all of a sudden Google will be like, you mentioned this in your book. We'd like all the money. Um, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing freaking super good. I'm like pretty happy with everything. This is going together awesome, you guys, and I have a pretty good idea where we're going with stuff. That's how I already know that one of the factions owns Space Hulk prisons. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna retrieve somebody from this Corporation 3, right? Wait, let me make sure. Now, Corporation 2, who's arrested in Corporation Three's prison that's long lost, right? Our hero will be traveling there at some point. Like, do I know exactly when? No, it could be chapter 4, could be chapter 5, could be chapter 2, honestly. I mean, like it's going to be in the earlier chapters because we're going to basically release somebody that's been imprisoned for a super long time. Now, they'll pop up later on in other books, probably. I haven't worked out their character. They're not the main character to this. So it's kind of like we're going to have characters passing through this book that get their own book later on, guys. Just so you know. Lots of death. We already have established that I'm going to. Excuse me. I got the hiccups somehow from drinking coffee too fast or something. Um, let's look over this. We've got all the corporations. We've got an idea. We've got the Vikings. We got an idea on. Did I actually solve what I was saying on this confederation? Uh, boom, elected to work together. Okay, so these guys stayed neutral. Okay, and I think I misspelled myriad. I think it's an I. Pretty sure it is an I. Geez, we've got some stuff. IAD is myriad. Boom. Okay, so this. Okay, so boom. Thought we had eradication of. Okay, so what happened is We've got when they entered the Great War, because these guys, the Confederation of Human Worlds, they were not ready for this war type stuff because of course this is just a confederation of human worlds working together. They weren't all built up like a military industrial complex corporation number 2, right? These guys, boom, they were ready to go to war because they produce war stuff. They obviously were probably banking at that point, AIs, wars, blah blah blah, RoboCorp type stuff. Um, these guys did well, I'm sure. These guys, mining, blah blah blah, lost a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna be honest. For the most part, I'm gonna say that these guys did not do well. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Lost most of their stuff. So we're not defining how much stuff these guys had left. We do know that these guys did well. These guys did okay. Now, these guys got totally just sacked, right? So, placeholder corporation 1. Let's read through this. Yeah, these guys are just wiped. They lost everything. Okay, that's good. Boom. Okay, I feel that that's realistic, right? We've got, well, realistic for a cosmos that has space Vikings that are using rune magic and military industrial complex corporations, but that's okay. That's why it's called sci-fi fantasy, right? If it was like just sci-fi, hey, this is a real story, it'd be boring as crap. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it would be super fascinating anyway, but let's just be honest. I just want to read through this, make sure I'm kind of getting what I'm thinking I'm putting down. Okay, corporate space holder. Yeah, corporate space holder 3. Okay, so they're gonna survive because they bought tech from corporate space holder 3. So let me find this. Oh, of course, space holder corp 3. No, I meant space holder. They're like, did you mean? Oh, told you guys it's early still. I've got coffee flowing into me. It just hasn't took over enough. Corp 3. Boom. Okay, so these guys also hid away. Obviously, boom, that's how most of the humans that did survived is they were doing business with Space Group 3. Our character is likely going to be from the Confederations, right? Our main dude. So now we've got down to these races that are the placeholder races, right? Placeholder 1, place the myriad. Now we're gonna. Oh wait, do we have all these guys? Elf, elf, boom, boom. Okay, so okay, so the elves had living gods. Most of these elf gods, they're dead. Just to be honest. Okay, so we've got it where as checking. Yep, I just wanted to make sure. You know, let's call it dimension. And there's a difference between dimensions and planes, right? Okay, so boom. Okay. Okay, so we've got a God Eater. Okay, so this one, it'll eat anything. God Eater. Boom. That's good, that's good. So we've got the elves had living gods which ruled over them and had their own religions. When the cosmic horrors arrived, they at first were able to fight back and protect their people, but as greater and more powerful entities poured into the dimension, they were destroyed, and in many cases their powers consumed along with the life forces of most. Oh, that doesn't make sense. It should have caught that, right? Don't you guys feel? Boom. Of most, of almost all of the populations. Boom. That were under them. Many of these were slain by a whore who came to be known as the God Eater, who fed on whichever great power it could find, including other whores. Okay, so that one will eat anything. It just boom, right? Destruction, blah blah blah. Okay. The elves believed that the humans brought the horrors because of their misuse of magic, the creation of abominations through genetic modification, and unnatural integration of technologies through cybernetics, right? Boom. That makes sense. We've got that. The elves once they realized the rate that humans were breeding, decided that they were a threat and needed to be controlled, and the population reduced. Okay, so this is how we're going to get zombies. And we're gonna get rid of that because that I don't like how that reads at all. It's even sloppy in our notes. Yeah, we gotta have a god eater. It slaughters. Don't worry, the myriad had gods too. They're pretty much dead too. There's the god eater thing. Boom. What are you gonna do about it, right? We gotta have stuff out there that's looming out there scary. Now, in our story, the humans believe that these creatures came in, gobbled up everything, and when there wasn't enough food, they just like receded back, right? This is incorrect. I'll spoiler alert you. They are wrong. It's okay. We're going to have them believe this at first. Whoa, whoa, hey, we don't want to hit that. I'll bring up source code type stuff. We're not trying to hack whatever this is. Hit the wrong button, guys. This is before the war. Okay, before the war, the elves realized the rate that humans were breeding. Okay, comma. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, before the war, the elves realized the rate the humans were breeding was greatly outpacing them and decided that they were a threat that needed to be controlled and the population reduced. This is when they used powerful magic to create. Uh, Nietzsche actually is fascinating. I actually like a lot of Nietzsche's writings, just so you know. But Nietzsche's belief was that we through our growth and because the way we had changed the way we perceived our relationship with things had killed the gods. And honestly, Nietzsche says that if you guys ever read the what comes after that where we killed God blah 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 type stuff, it actually goes into to what waters will we use to cleanse ourselves for this and talks about like how can we move past this great sin. It's actually a very complicated thought on the evolution and the what we expect from gods. And he even asks, is the only atonement that we can find to become gods ourselves, or something like that. And I'm not gonna, out of my mind, just quote Nietzsche exactly, but for the most part, yes, Nietzsche did believe that. I mean, he stated that. I don't know what he believed in his head. I know what his written word was. But Nietzsche didn't think that the fact that we had killed our own gods was a noble thing. He actually thought of it as a super almost tragic event in which, yes, it was done, but like, how do we atone for that once we've abandoned and destroyed our own gods that in his mind we had created for ourselves? How do we move forward from that? And so I think Nietzsche would have been a fascinating dude to visit with. Like, a lot of people focus on him as some kind of I don't know. I think he's more complicated than people give him. But Nietzsche is very brilliant, like a super brilliant guy. Honestly, you guys, like fascinating writing. If you know, he has some writings on. I don't know if you guys have ever read the Ubermann, but Nietzsche has some super good writings. In fact, hold on one second. Yeah, this boom. This book is super fascinating, you guys. Like he like just totally crazy. Like he, the purest form of man being man is the Uberman, and he in that literally it talks about like the degradation of our own selves through like just becoming weak and how that's not the goal. You know what I'm saying? Fascinating guy. I read a lot of philosophers. I like philosophers. I'm a big fan of Voltaire. Voltaire's not Voltaire's real name. I actually don't know what Voltaire's. I like Hobbes a lot. Man, I like Nietzsche. I like so many people. I like too many people, you guys. I'll read almost anybody's thoughts on stuff that are profound. I like that stuff. Um, Guys, I'm not really sure how to spell plague this morning. That's totally incorrect. Mm. Oh man, my brain just went totally. Oh yeah, well they'll know. I had all the right letters in there. We just okay. Now you'll be glad to know that we're gonna deal with this zombie plague back here, somewhere else. Honestly, because we're gonna end up creating non-zombies that are better, right? So we'll go down into past the myriad of races and all that, and we'll know that the zombies. Oh, maybe we should just put a creatures that can be found, right? Maybe we need creatures. Okay, so besides the ones we already talked, obviously we know at this point we've got zombies, right? Oh, let me get rid of this part. Boom. I swear. We'll go back up here, guys. Sorry about that. Zombies, and we already know. Okay, zombies were created by them to reduce the humans. We know we're gonna have space trolls. They're gonna be super hard to kill because they're space trolls, right? And we all know that if you're gonna have a space troll, And we're going to say Corporation 3. That's a race. We know that. Corporation, which one? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say Corporation 2 did that. And here's why. They were attempting to disease. I'm sorry, guys. I'm awake, but yeah. Okay. Okay, ghouls which were created, and they we already know. Placeholder. I thought up here they told me placeholder. Oh, you know what? We'll just move past that. We're moving forward. We're not messing around with that. Placeholder Corp 2. We're working to cure the zombie disease, resulting in a stronger, faster version of the zombie which retained its intelligence, but in most cases drove them to become psychopathic. Um, yeah, so these guys, they're obviously, we're consuming the living with them. That's how they keep from decaying. Okay, and this is supposed to be upon. I'm sure that's what they're. So we've got them regenerating if they eat elves, especially magic ones. So obviously our ghouls have a hankering for magic elves, right? That's always convenient. Um, so we've defined out the elves, the ghouls, the let's see, who don't we have done? We've got the myriad. It's 6:01. I only really have time till 6 on Wednesdays right now. I'm going to see what we can do to change that. On Friday, we're going to be working this for 2 hours solid. But I'm going to tell you guys, I believe we've actually built our world, right? Do you guys feel that? We already know that I mean, like, we could do some major work on the horrors itself, right? I'm going to just get the horrors down real quick because I feel that that's so important that we have that in a category group right off the bat. Okay, so that's what we want there. We know the God Eater is going to be in, and then we're only going to name like 5 main ones besides the God Eater. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we know that there are a whole bunch of others. Okay, so we've got many other horrors. So we're going to have 5 main. Hey, these are the scary ones besides the God Eater. Horrors. No, not horror stories. Boom, 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 boom. So let me get down here. Let's go. Our main character. Okay, our main character. We already know who our main character is. That's how freaking rolling we are on this. I don't know how much we wrote today. Uh, what are we on? Page 16. We've got 16 pages of world building. Now, when we come back on Friday, I'm going to flesh this out the rest of the way. If you guys have thoughts, you're more than welcome to say. I've got my notebook. Obviously, I'm starting to write down stuff. That's how we got the God Eater, the Prison Hawk. Um, I already know that the humans and a lot of people believe the horrors have already receded back. I'm going to let you guys know they have not. It's okay. Sometimes you got to like deal with it. Everything from here on out is going to be what you call those spoilers because we're going to be writing the book from here on out, right? We're going to have already finished out the world building. We're going to jump right to a my brain went right there. We're going to jump to basically our outline. The outline is going to be quick. Obviously, we know it's going to be some amount of chapters. I know that we're going to have somebody cross through multiple times. I know that we're going to the Space Hulk early in the thing to release one of the corporate officers who was convicted of a bunch of crimes. The crimes are going to make sense. These crimes are going to be from Placeholder Corporation 2. Our character, our hero, will be heading to the Prison Hulk. Of course, everybody's dead on the Prison Hulk, but that doesn't really mean anything in this universe. I'm not really sure what's going to be there. We'll probably roll a dice to see what it is. Space things, Tyriad, I don't know, the Myriad, I mean, type stuff. I actually don't know. I'll decide that then. I've got my dice tower right here with lots of dice. I think you guys can see fancy. dice rolly thingy majiggy. So we have the ability to randomly decide some crap right here. I do want to thank you guys for just being amazing. Real quick, I'm going to find somebody that we can raid over to because I like to make sure that we raid over to people. Um, Miss Rage is super nice, but let's find somebody that's in. King Ads is on. Okay, I'm willing to do King. Let me find. Oh, you know what? We'll just try type in Entropia. He's playing Entropia, right? King Ads right there. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys very much. We're gonna start the raid over to here. I like King Ads. He's a nice guy, straight up. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. On Friday, we're going to do more. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be on learning Italian. I've actually been keeping up with it this week, so that ought to be a good sign, right? Peace, very best wishes. You guys stay epic.